Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video I'll be talking about how to be more productive as a medical student. So in this video I'll be sharing with you some of the few tips that have helped me become a bit more productive, and these tips are things that I use every day. So if they've helped me, I'm hoping that they at least help someone else, which is why I'm sharing them with you. So the first one is actually an app called Alfred. So let me show you my screen. Essentially this is basically what Alfred looks like. It's actually essentially a glorified version of Spotlight Search. This is basically Spotlight Search. You know, I'm pretty sure you've already seen it before. It allows you to find certain files. For example, let's say this document, this folder, I didn't know where it was. I can just type Y6 and there you go, it's found that folder for me already. Alfred is essentially kind of like Spotlight, but you know, it has a few more features as well. I've used both Spotlight and Alfred, and I've found in my opinion that Alfred just seems to be faster and more reliable than Spotlight. So it can do the same things such as file search. So for example, I always have a look at my block timetable to see where I am in the year. So if I just type BL, it will already know that I'm looking for the block timetable because I search that file so often, so it probably knows that's what I'm looking for, so it kind of keeps it on the top of the list. And so in that way it's a lot quicker and a lot faster to find what you're looking for than Spotlight. Now it also has a bunch of other features such as calculator, dictionary. The one I actually like is the spelling dictionary. So essentially you just type the word spell and now you can literally butcher a word, and as long as you're halfway or like somewhat there, it will try and spell that word for you. So for example, let me try and spell the word acknowledgement, and let's just say I just didn't know how to spell it. So I butcher the spelling. And as you can see, even though I've clearly spelled acknowledgement wrong, it knows that I was looking for the word acknowledgement, so it spelt it correctly and given me the correct spelling. And so if I press enter, that word is now actually on my clipboard. So then now I'm free to paste that word wherever I was planning to use it. And so if I use Alfred again to open text edit to show you that I can paste that word in, if I press Command V, there you go, that word has now been pasted in. So again, Alfred can be used to open files as well, applications as well, and I use it for that too. In fact, it even lets me see how many times I use it. So as you can see, since January the 23rd, I've literally used Alfred like 6,200 times, and I use it on average 31 times a day. So this is not just, you know, bogus information that I'm telling you for bants. It's something that I actually use every day, and I'm not being sponsored by Alfred to tell you this, but you know, if you're watching this, then feel free to hit me up. Another great feature which I want to show you about Alfred is the ability to copy text but then save the text that you've copied in what's called the clipboard history. So let me show you an example of that by going to just Wikipedia and finding a random article. So I'm going to go over to Wikipedia. Oh god, how do I use this random? Okay, here we go, random article. It's not a very great article because it doesn't have much text on it. Let's do another one. Okay, so let's say I want to know that the Spanish ling lives in the northeastern Atlantic Ocean. Let's say I want to copy that fact. Okay, now if I press that keyboard shortcut, Command Option C or whatever you set it, you can change the shortcuts to open Alfred or to open the clipboard shortcut. You can see that that text that I've copied lives in my keyboard history. So, you know, later on down the line, if I ever needed that information, I have it on my clipboard history. And I use this all the time. So remember the word acknowledgement that we found and copied earlier? It's also got that there. You can also copy links, for example, or images. So this is a random copyright-free image I copied earlier just to show you for this video. Now what's great about Alfred is that most of the features are available for free. However, there is something called a power pack that you can buy, which allows you to kind of download workflows that others have created or even code some yourself. So one that I use, you know, these are the 4 that I have downloaded and that I use. There's a lot more, but you know, I don't really need to use it often. But for example, this one, shorten URL, essentially it says what it does on the tin. It allows you to create short URLs. So for example, let's say if I go back into Safari, and let's say this was a really long link, which it just clearly isn't, but let's just say it was a really long link. I'll press Command C to copy that link in my clipboard, and then if I open up Alfred, I can just type short, paste the link I want shortened, press enter, and then now it will create a shortened version of that URL with tiny URL. And I think you can select, you know, another URL shortener such as bit.ly or whatever you want. but now that will now live on my clipboard. So for example, if I now paste that link, as you can see, it created that tiny URL from that long link and shortened it for me. So I press enter, as you can see, that's the Wikipedia article for Spanish ling, which I randomly generated. I didn't even know Spanish lings were a thing. But anyway, the great thing about Alfred is that its community is great, meaning that loads of people have coded really awesome power pack tools for you to use, but you don't have to use those. As I said, most of the features are available for free, so there's no harm in just, you know, giving it a go and seeing whether it works for you or not. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is also another app, and this is a to-do app called Things 3. The great thing about Things 3 is that it just looks so simple, yet it has a lot of functionality and it's really easy and smooth to use, and it also syncs with your iPhone, your iPad and your Mac as well. So as you can see, I've got it open here on my iPhone, and you can also actually see on the home screen I've got that little widget with my to-dos. And me being in kind of like the Apple ecosystem, it's very great to have an app that syncs so smoothly across the 3 devices, which is, you know, something that I look out for. Let me now show you on my Mac so I can kind of show you a few things that it does. Okay, so this is the Things 3 screen that you see on your Mac. I'm on my today view, so it shows me the to-do items that I've got for today. As you can see at the top, it also syncs in with your calendar. So for example, if I go on my calendar, you can see that at 9 o'clock I set an event saying go to the gym, and that's easily visible on my Things dashboard. Now let's say for example I want to add another event that will easily and smoothly just sync up. So let's say at 9 o'clock, not 9, I mean 7 o'clock, I've got an event, say I've got how to choose your F1 deanery, which is something I'm going to have to be doing soon because I'm going to be applying for F1 soon. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So let's say if I've got that event, I've placed that in my calendar. Now if I go back to Things 3, you see that now that event is on my dashboard, and you'll see it's a different color, it's blue color, and the past events are grey to tell me that it's already happened. So as well as syncing with your calendars, it will show you your to-dos that you have for the day. You can set deadlines. For example, you know, I was meant to upload this video at 3 PM today, but that clearly didn't happen. But then again, I've got my deadline set. I can click Command N to create a new to-do, and let's say it's just record this video, I don't know. Once I've done with the to-do, I can just tick it, and it will, you know, you can either set it to keep it there or disappear by itself, and then it will go into your logbook. You can also have different sections, so I've got, you know, different projects that they call it here, and you can create that by clicking New List, New Project. So let's say I'm working on, I don't know, renovating my room. I can create that as my project and add sub to-dos here. So let me just add a few sub to-dos. This is a great example of I just don't know how to spell architect, so let me just go over to spell on Alfred. How do I not know how to spell architect? I thought it was an easy word. Anyway, you never know what you don't know, which is why Alfred comes in handy in these situations. I actually have no idea what it takes to renovate my room, but here's just a few to-dos that I randomly created. And the great thing about this project is, as you can see, the circle will get filled up once you complete your to-dos. So as I'm ticking my to-dos off, you'll see that, you know, I'm halfway done with my project. That's a great way to keep tabs on how far you are with your projects. You can also create new sections. So say for example, I wanted to create just a new section on the interior design. And let's say I wanted to create another section for the equipment I need to buy. And so I can move to-dos into these various sections. And so that will also allow me to, you know, kind of categorize things within my project as well. So that's a great way to organize things. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is time blocking. Essentially what time blocking is using your calendar to plan out what you're going to do during that day. So for example, I already showed you my calendar earlier and I had that event at 9 o'clock saying gym. What time blocking basically lets me do is I can plan my events throughout the day. So let's say at 12 PM to 2 PM I wanted to film and edit a YouTube video. So I can create that here. Let's say at 3 PM I wanted to go for a jog. I don't know. The great thing about planning out your day like this is not only do you have it on your things today list on your dashboard, so you can easily see what you've got planned for the day, but you can also color schedule it, with your different calendars. So I might put anything that's related to gym a blue color, anything that's related to work a green color, for example, or however you decide to choose it. And what's great about doing this is you can create repeating items. So for example, if I want to go to the gym every other day, I can just repeat it and set a custom repeat, for example, so that automatically populates in your calendar. So anything that you do on a habitual basis, that's already filled out on your calendar for you. So by using this time blocking technique, not only do you have a plan of what you're going to do during the day, but that also gets saved so that, in the future, if someone asks you, okay, when did you go to the gym, or like when was your whatever appointment, then you can quickly search that up or go back on that date and see, okay, this is what I did and this is when I did it. So you've also got a logbook essentially of what you did. Okay, so those are the tips that I wanted to share with you today. If you've got any questions or comments, then leave them down in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, my name's Abby and I'm a medical student studying in London, and if you haven't subscribed already, then make sure to subscribe. I also have a newsletter which used to be weekly, but actually now I just decided, you know what, instead of forcing it, I'll just kind of do it whenever I want to, but essentially can be short and sweet with some interesting ideas or articles or videos or anything that I've discovered throughout that period, which I'll share. So if you're interested in signing up for that, then link is in the description below. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again in my next video.